Hello and welcome to the semi-final of the WMCQ here in Manchester on the 2nd of June. We've got the results from the quarter-finals. Andrew Devine beating Aaron Biddle 2-0. Adam Breeden taking down Mafadal Barmal 2-0. Luke Southworth, as we already saw on the previous video, beating Quinton Lip 2-0. And Chloe Watson losing a close one to Richard Parker. So Richard taking that one down 2-1. This sets up a couple of semi-finals for us here. Andrew Devine against Adam Breeden. And Luke Southworth against Richard Parker, which will be the game we're showing, and it's a bit of a mirror match.
Yeah, it's an aristocrats mirror match. Both of these players are very highly, very highly thought of. Luke Southworth recently won the PTQ in Sheffield, so should be seeing some pretty high quality magic from these guys.
How would you imagine a mirror match goes here, fast or slow?
It really depends on what both players' draws are like. I think that if a player leaves the door open for a blasphemous act, it's obviously going to end fairly quickly, but I think both players are going to be well aware of that as a possibility and will play around it at every possible occasion. But
are there any particular hands that you would normally keep but you would mulligan in a situation like this?
Nothing that really comes to mind. What you're looking for in this matchup is blood artist advantage, and really you're looking for your opponent to leave the door open. If neither of those things happens, you're in for a long one.
So we get the Doomed Traveller there from Richard on turn 1.
Yep. And turn 2 he has a Cavern and a Skersdag High Priest. That is also one of the cards that you really want to see in the mirror. The ability to just stick a bunch of demons on the battlefield is pretty powerful, and the only thing that can trump it really is the Reckoner Blasphemous Act. Luke with no source of red mana though at the moment. That's got to be worrying him a little bit.
Richard's come out of the blocks pretty fast so far, even though he's going second.
Yeah, he's not done too badly so far. Let's just see if he can follow it up. He's got a sacrifice outlet as well, so he's representing the turn 3 demon here.
Does he have the third land himself though?
Looks like he does. He's just deciding which one he wants to lay, and he goes for the Blood Crypt. And he's just passing the turn back to Luke.
Well, we're going to get a lot of this today, right? People
Yeah.
just not being able to swing profitably.
Yeah, there's combat maths in this matchup is going to be hugely difficult for the... See, I mean, Richard could have been a little bit aggressive there, and well, he couldn't have been because he only just laid the Cartel Aristocrat that turn, so not much you can do. Luke's still without a source.
So the big wall is up anyway from Luke with the Boros Reckoner.
Yep, although he is still without a source of red mana. Reckoner doesn't really care too much about that, and Richard declining the opportunity to try and make a demon there. Maybe worried about Tragic Slip from Luke's side, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to. I'm not sure he's going to be able to play around that. At some point, he's just going to have to. At some point, he's just going to have to go for it.
But Richard's one of the poorer players here this weekend, not being able to afford any tokens for his Lingering Souls.
Don't know about that.
10 pence each is a big expense these days for Magic players.
I think Luke might oblige him here, because Luke has come loaded with tokens for this weekend.
Boros Reckoner number 2 from Luke, and this is setting up a kill right now if he can get some red mana.
Yeah, if he finds a source of red mana and he's got a Blasphemous Act in hand, that's game. So I think Richard now finally is deciding that he's basically got to demon this up, otherwise he's in. Otherwise there are major problems to be had.
So he's keeping his demons right next to his spirits here.
No, he's got his demon on his right hand side of his Cartel Aristocrat.
He turned a demon into a spirit there.
Oh, there you go. Have a demon. Have some spirits as well. See, Luke comes prepared for these sorts of things.
Won't be surprised if Richard pockets them at the end of the game.
Oh, we've got to wait a minute from Luke, so we might be seeing Tragic Slip here.
Well, we've had Richard sacrifice, so we know a creature's gone to the graveyard.
Yep, so there goes the demon. Can't see Blasphemous Act in Luke's hand at the moment, although he's moving his hand so fast I can't really see what's in his hand at that point.
Richard was also trying to attack with these tokens that had just come into play that turn, so Luke said, let's be having none of that. It'd be nice if they had haste. It's not a good enough card as it is.
No, it's like make a 4-foot making 4/1/1 guys. How about we give them haste as well? We just don't think the card's powerful enough. It's just the whole fact that they printed Lingering Souls because they thought Midnight Haunting was underwhelming, and then Intangible Virtue happened in block, and we were like, uh-oh, sorry.
That was one of the faster bannings in the format.
It was. I mean, the deck was just completely dominant. There wasn't much that anyone could really have done. Interesting card. Couple of card choices from Richard Parker. He does have one main deck Underworld connection, so I suppose he's...
Richard swinging for 2 here. But at any point, Luke can just end the game, which is always going to be the threat.
Yeah. Even though this is a mirror match, there are a couple of differences between the decks. Richard is running an Underworld Connections and 2 Blood Baron of Viscopa, whereas Luke has decided to go for the extra Skursdag High Priest and one Olivia Voldaren, and I'm just trying to find where the final change is.
A 5th Boros Reckoner, right?
I mean, it'd be pretty good. I think it's actually a land difference. Yeah, Luke is running 24 land, and Richard is just running 23. So. Which, considering he's put 2 5-drops in his deck and he's dropped a land, I'm not too sure that that's as
well, sometimes
consistent.
To win a PTQ or WMCQ, you have to get greedy and lucky.
I think in Richard's case it's going to be more greed than luck, because he is certainly going to be one
There
of the
is
better
the red
players
mana
in the field. 1 mana Good Night. Shrug. I think this is a sure I guess from Richard.
What are you going to do about that? You're going to take 26 to the face, and Luke takes down the first game 1-0.